Extraction shooters have been around for a chunk of years at this point, but a lot of people are getting into the genre for the first time with Arc Raiders. So whether you're a veteran or new, there are a lot of things that going topside for the first time can teach you. In this video today, I want to go over some critical rules you need to learn to survive your first trip to the surface in Arc Raiders. Now, this is your first time on my channel. The way I do things is by uploading the knowledge of my videos. So let me give you some hard and fast rules to live by in any extraction shooter. First off, going with an objective. This isn't Warzone or Fortnite where you just queue up and roll the dice. While you can do that, it's often better to map out what you're looking to do, zone in, make a beeline for that, and get out. Lots of smaller runs where you successfully extract are better than one larger run, especially in the beginning when you can't hold a lot of loot anyway. When you are doing your missions, don't feel the need to sprint everywhere. Your objective shouldn't be some massive cross-map exodus unless you get unlucky with your spawn. Take your time. Don't sprint unless you're certain you're safe so you aren't immediately drawing attention and being discovered. A tip from Hunt Showdown is to stagger walking and crouching to break up your movement pattern a bit when you're walking through buildings and what have you. Now, if you do encounter other people, try using comms first. Most of the time, you can talk down anyone from fighting by saying that you're trying to do a quest or just scavenging. Don't be fooled though. Keep an eye on anyone that says that they won't shoot, because they definitely still can. Everything in an extraction shooter is about risk assessment. Is it worth it to not shoot first and ask questions later? Are you that confident in your abilities, your loadout, your positions, what have you? Is it worth it to sprint across this open field? Don't get analysis paralysis, but just a little thought behind every action will keep you alive more than get you killed. Lastly, and the most important lesson, nothing you loot is yours until you extract, and everything you load in with should be considered lost. If you keep yourself in this mindset, you won't be upset if you die, and you'll also play loose enough that you won't get killed being too cautious, and it'll spare you a ton of headache. Also, make sure you store important stuff in your quote-unquote butt before even loading in. Butt is your little safe pocket. Sometimes you get unlucky on the spawn though, so you just don't want to lose it because of something that's completely out of your control. But that's too long didn't watch this entire video. Now, if that's all you wanted to know, please feel free to shut the video down. I want to be respectful of your time. You can navigate to any part of this video that interests you the most using the chapters with the timeline in the description. And if you are heading out, please make sure that you like, comment, or subscribe, as each one of those things helps me out in a huge way. And lastly, don't forget to check me out on Twitch, where I'll be doing giveaways of Arc Raiders linked below. Let's get started on surviving your first trip topside in Arc Raiders. But first things first, let's load into the game and let's break all this down. We're going to do a lot of prep time talking about how we're going to set everything up before jumping into the game. Again, just please use the chapters below if you want to jump ahead to a part like, you know, I already get all the behind the scenes shit. Let me just get into fighting. So before we even jump out there, let's establish for ourselves, let's map out a mission, our objective, what we're going to do. Now, you can try to do multiple of these at one time. You can try to just knock out, like, 5 quests, whatever it is. But let's take a look over here. So our feats, we have Arc Courier, Wasp Destroy, Damage Delta Raiders, Heavy Ammo. A lot of those things tend to be kind of like circumstantial, I guess you could say. Like, hey, this is en route to, let's just say this one. Okay, destroy a Hornet with a trigger, nade, or snap blast. So I know I got to go kill a Hornet. Well, we got to kill Wasp too. So maybe there's something over here. We got to go obtain a syringe, loot a barren husk. So we see some things that exist, and let's just go with looting a barren husk because that's kind of a general thing we can do. Now, conversely, maybe our objective here is resource based. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at something. I'm going to go to workshop, and I'm just going to click, sure, this. Nope. Level up. Fine. Cool. Synthesize fuel. Maybe this is our objective. I just want to upgrade this. So we got to go find Exodus. Anywhere the hell that is, we need to find Exodus. So now that we've got those things kind of established, whether it's going to be a quest, a feat we're going to knock out, go get some materials that we need, we've established that is what we're going to do. So we're going to click play here. We're not going to actually join in though. So I'm going to go ahead and look at, let's just look at this location, Damn Battlegrounds, right? We'll press inspect, and I can start to get an idea of where I want to go. Like, I know just because I've played, there are a lot of barren husks. Like, there's one right here. They're around this area. They're typically, you can sometimes see them from the map, sometimes you cannot. It usually comes down to map knowledge. Like, I think there's one over here too. I know there's another one around this area. It's like around the I know, I think I'm thinking of this one. I think I'm thinking specifically of this one. But that's an example of one. Or you know what? Exodus. Is Exodus on this map? You can look at each one of these things, but this battleground right here, if I look right at this location, it's going to show me all the ones that are currently on this map. So if I don't see Exodus on here, well, let's back out. Let's go over to Buried City. Nope, not here either. Let's go over to the Blue Gate. Okay, not here either. So this gives me a sense for like, man, I'm not hitting one. Oh, there's one. Boom. Okay, well, we found an Exodus. It's right here at the rocket assembly. So that's my objective. No matter what I do, where I zone in, my objective is to get to the rocket assembly. So now I have established for myself the objective, either it be a mission, materials, or what have you. This is what I know I need to do now. So that then gets us to our loadout. So we're in the screen to get ready. Let's talk about those loadouts. And I think everyone should have an understanding of just a base loadout that you should have. It should be some form of augment, which will be our next section, some form of shield that complements that augment. What I mean by that is, this is a light, so I need to have light, but one of these can have light and medium, so I get the light and medium, whatever I want to do. A weapon that fits my playstyle, and a secondary weapon that also fits my playstyle. Now, this secondary weapon, I think it's more of an optional thing. Are you comfortable enough with the game to bring two weapons? Especially if I'm talking about like a Pharaoh. A Pharaoh is like, it's a break action single shot weapon. So if you're not comfortable enough just using one of those, you'll definitely want to have a secondary, like say like a Rattler or a Stitcher in my case, or a shotgun, whatever it is. So once we've established our primary and perhaps our secondary, again, it comes down to you. We want to make sure we have corresponding ammo, and then we want to have 1 to 2 shield rechargers, and then bandages. After that, you're going to want to have one type of grenade. I like 1 to 3, depending on the level of engagement I'm going to be getting into. And then I have a wildcard slot. That wildcard slot is going to be anything that's going to fit the scenario I'm going to get into. Maybe I want to go with like an adrenaline shot. Maybe I want to go with a defibrillator because I'm playing with my friends. Whatever kind of thing makes sense for your quick use for that slot, go ahead and put it there. So this breaks out just your basic loadout. You don't need to get fancy with this. You don't need to get crazy with it. There's no min-maxing required here. Make sure that your light shield is repaired before you go in. Some people tell me, it's not worth it. Just go build another one because it's 4 plastic parts and 1 alloy to make 1 light shield. But I'm just going to repair it, man. Like you come across them so much when you play, like I'm not too worried about it. So that is our basic loadout. And remember, if you are loading in with a custom loadout, you do get a chocolate pocket, a butt, as it's called, your safe pocket. Those of you who have played Tarkov, you know that putting things in your butt is a big thing for just bringing either objective-based things out and what have you. It's going to have its own section. So when you do your custom loadout, take the most expensive thing or something that I don't have enough of these, I can't risk it. Put it in your butt just to begin with. So when you load in, it's already safe. When you loot something that you actually really want, just swap that off and into there or wherever it is. That goes back to your backpack, your quick use. There is one thing though, and that is a free loadout. So if you are just getting started or you're just really like, hey, I just need to go do one quick thing, it's not worth really risking a whole loadout. Like I'm just going to go in there and do one thing and get out. It's probably going to be 3-4 minute mission. Just take a free loadout. Bop in, do what it is, then get out as fast as you can. And this way, at least you have the chance of going in with pretty much all reward, right? Who cares? Whatever you get from this loadout, it's free because you didn't have it to begin with, and anything you pull out is just a massive net gain. So free loadouts exist, but there's one thing about free loadouts that plays into the other portion of this loadout section, and that is your augments. So let's now talk about augments. So augments are going to change how your loadout fits, but also not necessarily how you play, but kind of how you're going to approach that match maybe. So if you go with a looting Mark 1 here, for example, you're going to have more backpack slots, more weight capacity. You can see max load of 50, and you can see I have a lot of slots. But maybe I want to do a little, this is more of like, I just got to go kill some arcs. I got to go hunt people for a feat, whatever it is. Maybe I want to go with tactical here because now I can have a medium shield capacity. I don't have as much loadout, but I get more shield capacity. And you can see on the far right of the screen, do you see we've got 4 quick uses? That puts us to 5 quick uses. So you can see there's lots of benefits here. And you can just get a quick look at it just by hovering over. You can see exactly what you get. you get 1 safe pocket, you get 5 quick uses, you get 15 inventory slots versus this, which gives you 18 inventory slots and only 4 quick uses. So you see that there's a direct difference. And also too, we have a combat, which is going to give me 16 slots rather than the 15 we had from this. And I get 4 quick uses. But this will also give me medium shield capacity. So it's kind of striking a balance between tactical, which is, I would argue, more offensive, and looting, which is quote unquote more passive. Combat kind of gives you a bit of an in-between. So you'll be able to get additional marks of these. You'll be able to go and craft more of them. They're very easy to craft. And if you just kind of easy, you just have to upgrade them. You go over here, utility station, was it? No, how many times have I done this damn thing? I always go to the wrong fucking one. There it is. Ha! You can see here's what's now going to give you 2 slots of your safe pocket. Now 24 slots in the main, and you get 5 on your quick use, but this is looting. So we don't have light, or we don't have medium shield capacity or heavy for that matter. And as you kind of come into more of these, you can see that there are different routes for all of this, but just know that this is how augments work. My last little tip on augments here is about glance at the clinic. You can go ahead and buy augments. You can craft augments. They're very inexpensive. But once you've successfully extracted with a free loadout, don't forget to just go ahead and come over here and swap that free loadout kit that you had, free loadout augment, into one of these. And honestly, too, just for inventory management's sake, I wouldn't have really more than 2 augments at a time. Like, I think I've got 1 too many combats right now. So sell it, recycle it, go use it, whatever it is. But augments are definitely a big portion of this game, and I think that the people kind of sleep on the free ones and don't really utilize them as best of their ability. Now, another thing too, when jumping into our match, I talked about it loosely in the loadout section. It is the chocolate pocket, the safe pocket, your butt, whatever you want to call it. I'm using these things because you're going to hear them as the vernacular within this type of genre. People will say, if you're playing with friends for the first time, maybe in a random Discord, or you're jumping in with things, you've queued up with people randomly, they might say, hey, take this and put it in your butt. It's not like a weird sex thing. It could be. I mean, maybe, who knows? It's 2025. Sometimes things go up places. But with this safe pocket, you should use this before you even load in to safeguard stuff. I already talked about using it for your current loadout, but maybe you're going to do a quest that requires that you go to the damn control. Well, put that in there before you even zone in. That way it's secure in case just some random bullshit happens. You zone in, you get third-partied or just get killed immediately, whatever the situation is, you've got that safe. But furthermore, you're going through the game, you're looting. Here's an example of something that I found, shift click, I found, and I immediately put it in here, the anvil splitter. This is a really awesome mod. So I put it right into here, and I was cool with it. If I die, whatever, I had this sweet thing. The rest of my gear was pretty much junk for the most part. And this gives you a real great capability to save the items you need for a quest, save the items you need for your own character's progression, or just save items that you're like, hey, I had found last night, I found an epic trinket. I'm like, man, that's like $8 grand. Let me just put it in the chocolate pocket and I'm going to be good to go. So make sure you use this to the best of your ability and make sure that you really take advantage of storing things. There's one other thing too about that. It's worth noting, this is your total value of your loadout. This money, this thing right here. So basically, if I go to die, I'm losing $14,000 worth of stuff. So this kind of gives you an immediate sense of like, hey, I have $14,000 worth of stuff, but I've got 7,000 of it on lockdown. But just know that you cannot put shields in here, and you cannot put weapons in here. I would definitely save this for things that are purple in hue, right? Like anything that's epic, anything that's of course legendary, or any kind of like blueprint schematic stuff like that. Save those things because they're going to help you out a ton. So I brought this up in my tips video, but I think it's just worth bringing up here too before we even get started again with zoning in. Your logbook is so key to success in this game because it gives you something that on the fly you can constantly be referencing back on stuff that you might have already accomplished within a mission. You're like, hey, I'm going to go kill hornets. Well, I got the hornet done in the first minute of the mission. I've got plenty of capacity to fill up and I've got plenty of time to kill. What's another mission I can jump into? Well, I can go ahead and look at my logbook and go, what are my quests that I've got left? Hey, let's go get a syringe, or let's go loot a barren husk. Or you know what? We've got a bunch of resources that we've got tracked. Let's take a look at these and go ahead and take advantage of them and go try and grab them in locations that we might be able to find them. So this says, I mean, I can hover over this. It says utility station, right? But this will tell me, oh, this is technological. Let's see if there's a technological on my map. Bam, there is. Boom, that's where we're going. So what's important though about putting tracking resources on this, like I've got a bunch of where all of my workshop upgrades, I always immediately press track resources on there so that they can be tracked quickly. And I can just immediately know that I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be able to track those things quickly, because what I want from that is this. So now I've got those things tracked. If I go back to my inventory, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this back to, there we go. Category. I'm gonna scrub through this. You'll be able to start seeing it. There it is. This is tracked for a blueprint. This is tracked for a blueprint. So the eyeball means that I have tracked this as part of a resource that's now in my logbook. But you'll now see this too. This is tracked for a quest. So the logbook is key to making it so that you have to spend less time in menus and you get to spend more time actually playing the game and working towards completing objectives, building items, upgrading things. It is the key to everything. And just go crazy with it. Like, I mean, there's no reason not to just put everything that you want to put or unlock. Just put it in there. Just track it, track it, track it, track it. Like now I know I can craft like 1 million anvils now. Like, okay, like maybe 2, not even 2, but still use that logbook to your advantage to spend less time in menus. A quick note here on weapon mods. This isn't really necessarily useful overall for surviving your first journey out, but we talked about loadouts and I just don't want you to make this mistake like I've done before. When it comes to weapon mods, take a look at what there's on here. This is reducing my vertical recoil. This is reducing recoil recovery time and dispersion recovery time. All of these modifications don't make sense on a Pharaoh, which is a single shot break action weapon. I shoot and then I'm gonna have to go ahead and reload. The only time that would make sense is if it were to give me a benefit towards reload or damage. There's no recoil that I need to worry about because I have to reload anyway. So just a real quick note when it comes to putting modifications on, make sure that they actually fit the weapon when you do outload things so that you don't waste modifications, since nothing is permanent. Another big portion of this game is dealing with damage, mitigating it, repairing your shields, and repairing yourself. And I just want you to know how shields play into that. So if I take a look at this light armor shield, you'll see this says damage reduction 40%. This is not like some other games out there where your shield takes all the damage and then your health takes damage. Nay, this, let's say you were to take 100 points of damage, the light shield would mitigate 40 of it, absorbing it into its shield, reducing its total amount of shield, and your health pool takes the other 60, right? So 100 damage, 40 of it's gone, 160 goes to you. So knowing that having a shield doesn't mean you're not going to take health damage. It means it mitigates the amount of health damage you take. Same thing here with a medium shield. See, it's 42.5% damage reduction, but it has a 5% movement speed reduction. Also too, the charge increase here, right? This has got a 40 charge and this has got a 70 charge. So just know those things about shields, because it's important to understand how you can survive large amounts of damage and how you can repair, how you can recharge a shield and repair your health. Shield, I think, first and foremost, you always repair your shield first, because then you can repair your health while that shield is going back up. And you can do vice versa, but I'd rather have a mitigation on my remaining health faster than having more top health quicker. If that makes sense, I'm saying I want that shield to be online so it can mitigate any more damage coming my way before I start patching myself up, which recharges at a slower, you heal is what I mean by at a slower rate than your shield will recharge after using a shield recharger. So we're queuing up here, and that's my tip. Nothing is permanent. Everything that I've chosen for my loadout to jump into this game doesn't matter. It's already gone. You need to think like that. All this is no longer here. And that is going to change the way you engage in this game, because you're going to feel less worried about quickly getting away with items. And it's still going to happen. You're still going to have moments where you're like, shit, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose that. That's okay. Let those things happen. But moreover too, anything that I find that as I'm deploying right now does not matter, because it is not mine until I extract it, unless I put it in the chocolate pocket. So just know that nothing is a guarantee in this game. As soon as you brought it out, it's yours until you bring it back in. And as soon as you go back in with it, it's just as likely to just be lost once more. So now that we've done that, let's break up the different ways to approach this. So we've loaded into this match. We are at the top of the match. Every match has 30 minutes. So I can see I'm at 28 minutes and 53 seconds. So that means everyone else is just freshly starting. If you join in and it's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, the match has already been going. So people either will have been killed or they'll be just filled to the gills with loot. So just know those things. So you need to break up your pace in how you do this. There's the fast way to do it, which is reckless, oftentimes will get you killed, and the slow way to do it, which can still get you killed, but at least you'll be able to have a fighting chance. So let's go ahead and map out what we're going to do. We're going to try to loot that husk. So I'm going to say we're going to go right here. And then once we do that, we have the option to escape here or here. And it's nice to have two exit routes because sometimes you get to a location to go do whatever you've got to do, and people are in a pitched firefight in one location, or there's a rocketeer over on their location. A location shuts down, whatever it is. Remember, these locations are going to shut down after those time limits are hit. So in 13 minutes, this one's gone, meaning more people are going to pinch to these until this is the last one left. When this one closes down, the whole entire match will have shut down. So let's go ahead and head over there. My allergies are killing me today. So we're going to take this kind of slow. We know that like we're 300 meters out. There's unlikely to be anyone near us. So we can kind of look around real quick, kind of keep our head on a swivel. And it's pretty safe at this point to sprint. And I've gone ahead and put my weapon on my back so I get better stamina efficiency here. And I'm going to be able to move a little bit faster. We're going to kind of keep looking around. Just make sure, again, head is on a swivel. Coming up to a location, there might be someone in there. Notice that door is open, but doors can spawn open. So don't be too wary, but just kind of, well, hey, that door was open there. Maybe there's someone right there. Perfect. So what we're going to do here is, I can just go ahead and leave this guy. Just remember, it's an extraction shooter. Nothing tells you have to engage with this person. You can go ahead and just completely run away. Chances are they're not going to engage with you. So let's see if we can have a little dialogue going here. And that's another thing too, is a lot of times people don't want to fight. They kind of just want to do their quests and engage with that portion of the game. Okay, so he's gone. He's over there. There's no reason to really bother. I was going to try to talk to him a little bit and say, and pretty much say hey man, you cool with me just going to do my quest? And he probably would have said, yeah, I'm cool. Watch, someone else is right here. So let's go back to this. So yeah, right there. There's that husk. So far, so good. And again, we haven't actually been going pretty slow here, right? This is just kind of a measured, cautious level of play. Looking around, head on a swivel. At least I think this is the husk you can loot. There's one that you can, and there's one that's just there. There we go. I think this is it, yeah. So we'll breach and clear this. Just know, that is loud. People can now hear what I'm doing. That thing is making air escape. It's like a steam engine gone wild. Oh shit. Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. We're totally fine. This was an intended thing for the video. I absolutely knew this would happen, even though I've done this twice, and that's never happened to me. So I can tell you that I have a terrifying moment right there. So we'll recharge. And I'm in a terrible spot. I do not recommend that you do exactly what I'm doing. But you know what? Sometimes things are fun. We're already here. We're going to go ahead and do this as fast as we can. Let's get the hell off of this. Cool. So we looted that, and we're good to go. So let's go ahead and go into this bush after we've made a god-awful amount of noise. Well, let's go to that central swamp lift. So we're 5 minutes into this section. You can see that we haven't been going too slow. We haven't been painstaking about our movement. We've pretty much been sprinting through the majority of this map. And that's okay. There are times when you just kind of know that is the play. Hey, there's not much around me. I can take my time. I haven't even heard any person to the right over here. They were 40 tracking towards north 10. So let's see. This is a point where I'm going to kind of crouch down a little bit. Right there. Maybe we can get out together. So this is the hunt showdown thing where you kind of walk and crouch at the same time. Do a little bit of this. Break up your movement pattern. Hey, partner. You trying to get out of here? I don't know if that went through. So he might be over here in the bushes. And at this point, we can hold down G.
Don't shoot.
So if he hopefully heard me, if he's close enough. And that's a big thing, is use that that wheel. I unfortunately don't know what the wheel is on console. I think it's down on the directional pad from last time I checked. Coming in.
Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Come on, buddy. Get in here.
Don't shoot.
Yeah, so we've already used don't shoot. Come on in. Come on in.
Don't shoot.
Come on.
Okay. Hello, Raider.
All right. Went ahead and used this. I hope his buddy's in here. And we're good to go. So that's an example of kind of taking things slow. You don't need to jump into every single engagement you see. You don't need to go guns blazing. You can, but it doesn't necessarily always net you anything. And we took 7 minutes. We got our objective done. I honestly, for the sake of this video, I was trying to keep it as brief as I could while also live demonstrating how this all worked, other than me showing you a bunch of canned footage that I've cut up. I feel like that just misconveys a dishonest point. By me showing you the actuality of how this approaches, you can see a lot of people don't want to fight. Now, how could you have approached this differently? Let's change that now. In your time playing ARK, you are going to experience arcs, as you can see right here. And the best way to deal with these is by shooting their thrusters. And hopefully they don't alert other ones, because they can see better than they can hear. There's certain actions they just don't really care to hear. But the big thing is you can really avoid these things by finding like a location and kind of running around it. But what you really want to do when fighting any ARC is aim for these little thrusters on the side, right? Take some cover and just try to pot shot them as best you can. And right now we're fighting a wasp, so it's a little bit easier. And that's going to take it down very quickly. What you should know though is take a look at your weapon. You can see right here, arc armor penetration. Now the wasps don't have armor, so it's going to be a lot easier to destroy them. If I were to fight a hornet has an armored front. So using a kettle, it's going to be very hard to pop the armor on its front side. You're going to want to aim for the back thrusters. So let me go and find myself a hornet, get myself in a worse situation to explain further. A lot of the scarier arcs are covered head to toe in armor, like that leaper there. So that's going to require you to use something that has a very high arc armor penetration. And if you have a kettle in this example, you're not going to want to go toe to toe with those. So now you kind of have an example of the lightest armored version of arcs and the heaviest armor. Well, one of the heaviest armor. We didn't talk about bastions and stuff like that. If you want ways to destroy those arcs that are a lot easier, go ahead and jump into the codex section of the main menu, and it'll allow you to read about the weaknesses and the strengths of all of the relative arcs. If you want something like that, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do a whole video on how to destroy each of the arcs, and I'll focus on it. When I talk about a hornet, I think what I should also do is talk about snitches. Now, this guy right here is a snitch. We're gonna let it spot me. This is definitely not recommended. So once it goes through yellow, through red, it's gonna keep going. That beam is like your last final. You got like 2-3 seconds left. It summons down. Should be 2 hornets and 2 wasps, or 1 hornet and 2 wasps. Something like that. So 1 hornet and 2 wasps. You can see the front of this thing is armored, right? Doesn't take any damage at all. Conversely, I'm about to take a ton of damage, so we better shake a leg. That's not a term anyone uses, but I'm going to do it right now. So you can see that that hornet has tons of armor. So we want to make sure that we're using something that has a higher damage load against it, or aiming for those back thrusters. You see those back thrusters? They do not have armor. So those back thrusters are the best way to knock that hornet off of its game. Now I do have this wolf pack. We're going to see how it goes in this situation. It might not help at all, but it'd be pretty fun. It's supposed to like use a homing missile to destroy these guys. And juke him. Ah, I got tased. I don't know what's gonna happen. There we go. Oh no! You can see the back of it. Well, it worked a little bit, but not a ton. You can see the back had those 2 thrusters unarmored. So it allows you to get a chance to knock those things out of the air. And I mean, you can see I had like no health. The wasps ain't too scary, but it's definitely the hornets are going to be the ones that are really going to frighten you. So that's how to deal with a lot of the different types of arcs you'll commonly encounter. Let me talk very quickly, lastly, about the most armored versions. Part of playing the game slow too is knowing not to leave a visual trace of you having been there. Aside from obviously looting things, you can control that. But whenever I go through a door, I try my best to close it. Probably because I was raised with manners, but this allows me to, or allows it so that if anyone sees me from maybe, or if anyone looks over this direction and sees this door, well, it's closed. So I'm probably safe to go over this way. That usually means, yeah, I'm going to ambush them or what have you, but it just prevents people from being able to stalk you as easy, because they might say, okay, hey, I see now that door was open. I'm going to go hunt for that person over there. Trying to cover up your tracks is another portion of this genre. If you didn't already know it, when you see these, they're a radar flare. So 400 and some odd meters away, whatever, someone got killed, and when they die, they set out a flare. Now, of course, inside you won't be able to see this, but they got killed outside. So this gives you an idea of where there is combat, who died, blah, blah, blah. So if you see a bunch of those things in the air, you know that was probably a pretty big, sizable amount of combat. And it depends upon if you're going in solo, duos, or trios, what kind of engagement it's going to look like. So we're playing a little bit looser now, a little bit faster. I've said that I want to go over here to the testing annex because I want to get some syringes from a medical facility. And I've already seen another guy over here. Now I can go ahead and just unload on him. But again, I got an objective. Let's knock that objective out. Unless I wanted to really like go for it, I could. But here's an example. Okay, I've already set that off. I'm running through this whole entire building just as fast as I can, right? Just kind of Call of Dutying this location. Okay, I've already set another thing off. If someone were trying to kill me right now, I would be the easiest target. And I kind of hope it does happen, so I can make my point further. We can kind of scrounge around here. And by sprinting so much, my stamina just gets drained until you really level up. Nothing there. Just kind of slamming through stuff, making sure we're searching things. Got another Pharaoh, that's always nice. Hey, look at that little guy, sell that bad boy. Rusted medical, or medical kit. Blankie. My Baba, put me to sleep. Durable cloth, which I know is used for both a quest and a blueprint. We hear some gunshots going on, so I know that there's definitely some chaos out there. And if they finish that fight, I am definitely someone that they can just kind of quickly come over to. I think the syringes are usually in here. And I'm trying to run and be as loud as I can, so... Oh, nice, music box. Of course, why would there ever be any more syringes in here? And don't feel like the need to loot everything, by the way. If you're like, hey, you know what, I know I have tons of cloth back home. Oh, someone else is here. So again, just pounding through stuff. Toro, whatever, why not? Hey. So that kind of makes my point, right? Like, we're playing with blinders on. I'm going super slow, or I'm going super fast. This guy, we heard him sneaking up on us, and no, don't touch me, don't touch me. No, it's a video. No, don't do it. But we heard him sneaking up on us. We played with blinders on. We were just trying to loot goblin. When you play fast like that, you better have a good idea of what you're doing. If I mean, I heard those things, right? I have a good at least game knowledge to know that some guy's coming. I should probably stop looting and start listening. So in those instances of you are in a location, you are looting it, you are getting stalked, stop doing what you're doing. Position yourself in a location where you can start to see doors. You can start to see where people are coming in. Set up an ambush. You probably have more than enough time to set that ambush up and have the ambush fail, as in no one approaches you, and make it out alive. Instead, I just blundered through that whole place trying to find syringes. I found a bunch of cool shit, didn't get any of it because I didn't even hear, well, I mean, between us, we know I heard that guy, right? Right, guys, I'm not terrible. Kind of, I am terrible. But this kind of makes my point. We loaded in, we set an objective, but we played too hot and fast, and we got killed just as fast. So take your time, slow down, head on a swivel, hear things, see them as they're coming to you, start to use that emote wheel, call out, hey, don't fire, or for some reason I can't use voice right now while I'm recording, but I will be very vocal on voice, and I'll be like, hey, and we saved our heavy ammo, which I wanted to save. I could have saved any number of the cool things that I didn't save, but I was playing too hot and fast, right? Hey, I'm just trying to quest here, man. And they'll usually be like, yeah, me too. But sometimes, you know, if I'm playing with friends and there's 3 of us and there's 3 other people, I will say, hey, stop. Don't keep coming forward, I will shoot you. And then if they just keep coming forward, we just unload on them, you know? Like, you can kind of create the pace for the engagement. And maybe it's because of the way I play. I saw 3 people, I'm like, hey, don't you get any fucking closer, I'll light you up like a fucking Christmas tree. And they start shooting, I couldn't tell you why. But my point is here, again, long-winded point, take it slow. Go fast, you don't see or hear things properly, or you think that they're just not coming your way, and you're like, I'm good, don't worry. Boom, you get killed. Sound traps are a big part of extraction shooters, especially if you've played a Hunt Showdown or a Tarkov. Sound traps, I guess not necessarily so much in Tarkov because they're just the game itself is a sound trap, but doing stuff like this is loud. Now, someone's not going to hear you across the map like you'd be able to if you set off crows in Hunt Showdown, but knowing those little things can be the difference between people knowing where you are and going and killing you, and you going completely unnoticed like 2 ships in the night. So, oh god, remember I told you to go slow? But that's another example too. Sound traps are also in ARCs. ARCs are part of the sound trap system. They alert people when they become alert, but they also force you into situations like this where you shoot your gun. Now, I can't find a camera in this location. If I can show you that sound trap and how that works. If not, we will cut and I will go to another portion because that's the glory of recording things and using editing. But sound traps are not as big as they are in, say, again, like a Hunt Showdown, where if you set crows off, people know where you are across the whole map. Or if you shoot your gun, people know where you are across the whole map. They're a little bit more localized in this game, which I'll be honest, I kind of like. But at the same time, you want to try to avoid those as much as you can, or use them to your advantage. Like, hey, you know what? I know if I'm going to hit this probe, it's going to draw people towards me. Maybe I already have my friends posted up to ambush them. So know how those sound traps work so that you're not always putting yourself in risky situations. I think there should be a camera in here real quick. Close my point out. There's not. So let's go ahead and make some editing magic. On the note of sound traps, before we even find that one of those little cameras, lots of things that are not seemingly sound traps are sound traps. This is an example. Me sprinting headlong through water alerts anyone within a good radius. There's someone running through that water over there. These over here, another sound trap. Again, not as big as some other games, but someone that's in that building now for sure knows I'm here. So be clever about your movement. Try to move around those things. Like I said before, break up your movement like this if you know you're sneaking up on someone, so they don't just hear trudge, 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 trudge. They hear like trudge, 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 trudge. And it will confuse someone. They'll have a hard time trying to pin down where your location is because they didn't hear enough sound clue, and it can actually draw them into a location that is beneficial for you in an engagement. Again, another example of a great sound trap is metal flooring. You're going to encounter it a ton in this game. Crouch walking. I'm going to turn up the sound so you can hear someone over there. I didn't even hear. I was started recording. That guy didn't even see him at all until I heard him thumping around.
Don't shoot!
Now I'm walking. You can probably hear me.
Hey, don't shoot! Don't shoot! Hey, don't shoot! Thank you.
So, scared me. Now, walking, you can hear me. If I sprint, you can really hear me. So, just be mindful of the floor that you're on too. That is another example of a sound trap. Okay, finally, sound trap. We found our camera. The camera, if I walk up to it, wait for it. Perfect, perfect. I didn't know if I'd be able to because I was looking over there. If I crouch under it, you can see, didn't set it off. Go through here. No issue with that camera. No one knows I'm in here unless they heard that door open and close. But if I just walk, oftentimes, oh, this has already been shot. Probably. Let's see. Yeah, it's already been shot. Well, damn. Either way. If you crouch under cameras, like if I were to go like this, you can usually get away from them without them going off. And that's a really great advantage because then anyone in that location doesn't know you're coming. And again, someone closed that door after they walked through it. And that's a huge benefit to you. With those things going off, you heard, and we were playing hard and fast, or I'm sorry, you can hear in the hard and fast section, camera going off. It's like a dead giveaway that someone's there. So if I'm just sprinting through this and cameras are going off, anyone in this hallway, anyone down the end of this hallway knows, and also it will alert ARCs. They'll know that someone's coming. So trying to avoid those sound traps are other ways that you can really get out of this game alive. So putting all this together, let me just say, I'm not the best extraction shooter player in the world. I have a lot of fun. I play the hell out of them. I played so much Tarkov. I played hundreds of hours of Hunt Showdown with my good friend Indie Pride from Milk and Cookies Total War, another YouTuber. We've played so much of that game. And there's definitely moments where I think the extraction, what makes extraction shooters so great is that the highs are fucking high and the lows are really low. Why am I playing this game? I'm going to uninstall. This is so stupid. My best piece of advice to you, outside of everything in this video, is persistence. You don't get good at things by playing them once a day for an hour. You don't get good at weightlifting things by lifting weights once a day for an hour. You don't get good at anything by putting zero time into it. The more time you put in, the more time comes back to you in better reactions, better skills, knowing how to engage, better map knowledge, whatever it is. And again, that's a life lesson that's true of every single thing that you're going to encounter. If you can put more time into something, you're going to be better at it. But if you don't want to put the time in, we're all busy people. Don't worry. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself through this process. So if you really only get 20 hours out of ARC Raiders, almost said ARC Showdown, ARC Raiders, and those 20 hours were enjoyable and not 20 hours of you just slamming your head against the wall going, why the fuck do people like this game? I don't understand what the hype is. The hype is in people enjoying the way extraction shooters play, which is the chaos of the extraction shooter process. You might have a really good interaction with someone and they say, yeah, hey, no problem, man. And then you guys go off and extract together and it's a cool, like, you know, forearm fist grabbing situation. Or you have a terrible situation, you just get completely murdered and it happens 3 times back to back and you lose everything. It's just part of the chaos. It's part of the roulette of this style. So enjoy the journey, have fun with it. If you get frustrated, put the game down for a little bit and come back to it tomorrow. It's kind of like playing a Dark Souls. If you've ever played a Dark Souls and you can't beat a boss and you just get so pissed off, you log off that night. The next day you come back from work, you play, you sit down, and you crush the boss in like 1 or 2 rounds because you've been able to approach it again with fresh eyes, with a fresh mindset. Just let yourself suck. It's the biggest portion of playing any video game. We are so bombarded with, if you're not doing this and you suck at that. I know that. I look in the mirror every day and I tell myself that. So I don't need to play a video game and feel that way. Sucking is part of getting better. So if you are struggling, you are dying, I promise that means that you're actually getting better. Keep moving the ball forward, keep getting in there, play a little bit different every time. I'll go a little bit slower here. I'll crouch walk in this location. I'm on metal plates. I better not sprint. Oh, that's a camera. Let me shoot it with a stealth weapon. Let me crouch around it. Let me just shoot it outright, whatever it is. Notice little things. And as you notice one thing per match, they will start to accumulate and you'll build a muscle memory and you'll start to overcome your obstacles. Again, in life and in video games. But if there's any tips that you have for people that are jumping into extraction shooters for the first time, let it be known in the comment section below. Like I said, I think the biggest thing that anyone will ever tell you is it's not your loot the second you're in the game, either loaded in with a loadout or found a loadout, and it's not your loot when you go back in the second time, you know? Just permanence is not a thing in an extraction shooter. So just know that, really reinforce that in yourself. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.